Okay. All right. How many cells are there?
2.
Name them.
Higher self and the lower self.
Watch this. Listen to the prophet here. What people represent the higher self?
The Holy City of Mecca.
He said people.
Are the Moorish Americans in relation to these angels? Oh, I'm picking up right here because I want to go down further. What's the answer, class?
Yes, we all have the same Father and Mother.
Or it's going to get deep. Give 5 names. 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve. Why? Could it be 6 names, 4 names, 3 names? But let's say it's 5 names because that's what it is. What people represent the lower self?
Those who were cast out of the Holy City and those who accept their teachings.
Okay. Now, we already know that the Moorish Americans are related to those angels. How are we related to those angels? Anybody?
We all have the same father and mother.
Is she right? All right. The prophet asked, what people represent the higher self? Is there a group of people who represent the higher self? So is that you?
It's not.
How is that you? Will you use reason to maintain that demand? Who?
The prophet said so.
Okay, but how? It said here, what people? This is people walking around with legs and arms and drinking and breathing and inhaling and exhaling.
What is the
It's a group of people. What people represent the higher self. So if the Moorish Americans are related to those angels, what they make you?
An angel. Who protect the Holy City of Mecca.
You hear Braswell Bey say?
It's not.
Is he right?
It's not.
Is this an interpretation or is this what the prophet has said? So that's what you gotta watch. We're gonna talk about that later on. Well, boy, you interpreted the wrong thing. Go ahead, Braswell
Grand Sheik, is that the reason why? On page 64, chapter 45,
45,
verse 2.
verse 2.
The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nation, the Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and founders of the Holy City of Mecca.
Woo.
That's it.
Now you into something now, you going deep. Pretty soon we gotta put on our deep sea diving suits. Who were Adam and Eve? Asiatics and Muslims. Since they are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatics and Muslims, and the brother just got through saying that the key of civilization is in the hand of the Asiatic nations. Is that you? Well, how can you be devil, Satan, beast? How can you be that? Because are we his descendants?
Yeah, 2 selves.
Go ahead, Grand Bey. Who said that?
Yeah, 2 selves. The higher self and the lower self.
Well, I'm gonna tell you my drawing and then you can say what you say. I didn't come from Adam and Eve.
It's not.
Can you figure that out? I did not come from Adam and Eve. What is the teachings of the lower self, Brother Braswell?
What are the teachings of the Lord said?
Yeah.
Hate, slander, losing, murder, death, and everything at home.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
What's the benefit of teaching hatred? What's their benefit for teaching hatred? Anybody?
They get power, Mom. They teach hatred to gain power. Power is an illusion. So, like the prophet said, I find all of them want to sit in my seat because that's where the money is. They want the power. They don't care nothing about the movement. They don't care nothing about Islam. They don't care nothing about Supreme Grand Sheik. They don't care about none of that. All they care about is themselves, Mo, and being greedy and spreading more and more vitriol. Say. That's all they care about. They don't have any salvation for you. No salvation.
Whoa,
They only on the manifest, the lower self.
good point.
The people who follow that doctrine. They want to see everything. And like Neil said, they come with the spirit. If I can't rule, I'll ruin. That's why we had to cast them out the Holy City.
So? Yes, brother. You had your hand up?
Islam.
Okay, go ahead and exercise your 5 senses if you're able to do so. If not, somebody else gonna exercise them for you.
I just want to say to gratify the Lord self. Islam. You said why they do it?
Yeah,
They do it to gratify the Lord self.
all right, good point. Carter Bay.
Islam.
Who is the hand? Carter Bay? Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
He said you can go ahead, Sheikah. You talk so soft, let me give you the microphone.
Well, to put it in layman's term, I like to kind of break things down. When you ask why did they teach hate? Because in love, everybody's on an equal playing field.
That's right.
When you separate people by hate, then it's the concept of somebody has to be on top. And if somebody has to be on top, then other people are beneath you. And they are seeking that, being on top, getting all the money, all the accolades, which they don't deserve. They use other people, as they call the lower caste, to bring themselves, to bring themselves higher, which is a false sense of power. And like the prophet says, like Pastor Bill was saying, it's gonna fail them.
That's right.
But they just don't understand that.
Islam.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sheikah. Good comment.
Islam.
Somebody else? Carter Bay, you had your hand up?
Islam.
Okay, here's Carter Bay.
So, where you going? What I think you're going with this is, it's great, because what we're dealing with is a group of people.
That's it.
If the prophet
That's it. It's gonna get tasty. Go ahead.
that was back then and that are here today,
Islam.
right? And they taught hatred to separate us from our legacy that you always speak about, the prophet. The separation. And the prophet goes in, I think, chapter 46. I think it's was that beginning of Christianity?
Yeah.
And he talks about why it was established, right, by these people, basically, for their earthly salvation. So if they teach hatred, they can divide and conquer, right? That hatred that we have towards each other in the world, it separates us from our brothers and sisters in the Asiatic nation. So now they can come in, once they have divided us, right? They can go ahead and fulfill what they think is their earthly salvation, right? Material wealth. Islam.
Wow, y'all listening? Excuse you. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going to people. But as the prophet talks to people, they don't have to be a pale skin.
No, not at all.
Because it could be anyone who does what?
Accept the teaching.
Who said that? You right? Accept their teachings. The lower self. The people who represent, I'm on this because I'm bringing a point. The people who represent the lower self, those who were cast out of the holy city. See how much meat we still going through this. And those who accept their teachings. What does it mean when you cast someone out? What does that mean? Sister Hodgenese, what does that mean? When you get cast out, what does that mean? What's she saying? You know, that's one of the many things I love about you. You just come right down the middle. And she's right. Did y'all hear what she said? They put you out. Go ahead, Mark, you had it.
Also to be thrown out.
Yeah, they
Thrown out.
Cast them out and take over.
Cast out. Okay, go ahead. Wait, you had something back? Pat had something to say. You have to say something because I can't see you, Patty.
Well, to be cast out means that you're put out, sometimes out in the cold. And I don't care what circumstances, you can't come back.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
that's my truth.
Ooh, that's deep. Somebody else had their hand up? Russell Will.
Cast out means to be thrown out.
They put you out, they throw you out.
Right. It's like,
Put someone, you can put your child out of your house.
Uh-huh.
You can come back and cast.
Really?
Cast out means once you cast it out,
You can't come.
then there's no coming back.
Mhm.
They're trying to get
Well said. Well said. Anybody else? Y'all here?
It's not. All right, man. Just throw them out, man.
Carter Bay. You had your hand up? Cast out. Go ahead, Mo. Light here.
Expelled or exposure, you know what I mean, away from you, you know what I mean, you have lost,
Cast out.
yes. You know what I mean?
Forcibly. Cast out means get out of here. You got put out.
Right now.
Right now. You cast out. When you cast out something, whether it's a person or some evil habits that you have unfortunately developed in your soul, that means you've given them chance after chance after chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity. And they said, no, I'm never gonna do right. I ain't gonna never do right. I'm gonna demonstrate hatred. I'm gonna demonstrate slander. And what else? Lewdness. Murder. They'll take everything you got, rip you off. I ain't gonna never stop. Since you ain't gonna never stop, as Russell will say, we gonna do what? Sister Hajanisa say, you gonna get put out. Get out of here. Get out. What people represent the higher self?
The angels will protect the decision makers.
Okay? Are the Moorish Americans in relation to those angels?
Yes. Some have the same father and mother.
So, you and I are angels. We all have the same father and mother, right? Where do you see that in this Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America that say that we are angels and divine? Is there any information in here that backs this up? Anybody? We're gonna make it work.
That's right.
Go ahead, Ryan, what you saying? You saying something, Sister Ryan? Yes. Ooh. Oh, you know what, sister? I just love it when you let that light shine. What page? What chapter? Read it.
Ye are children of one father, provided by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given you suck. That the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy father, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you. To love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. Whole race and care be continued to you all.
Very
In
good.
love with each other.
Good. What else? What other information? That was good. What other information in this Quran that says we are divine and angelic? Come on now, Moors. Okay. All right, chapter 1, what else? I'm talking about Asiatics. I'm talking about the people who represent the higher self. Millennial.
Divine origin of Asiatic.
About time.
There you go.
About time. Young, Lynn, ill. The whole chapter says who you are in terms of being angelic. The divine origin. That means where you originated from divinely. The divine origin of the Asiatic nations. Are you mentioned in this chapter? No. Where, Smith Bey?
Instruction 1, 2.
Read it for us. Sheik.
Is love. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and to know of their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. The Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca.
All right, hold it right there. You see your picture? You see yourself in the mirror?
Yes.
That's you. That's me. That's us. There's everything divine about you. There's everything divine about me. So said our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. It says here, the fallen sons and daughters. Why do we have a group of Asiatics who were the fallen sons and daughters? What did they do to fall? Who said straight?
Straight, we have to go.
Oh, yes, Sister Addison Hill. Go ahead, sister. They accepted the teachings of those who wasn't Asiatics, or let's go back to the questionnaire. And those who did what? Accept their teachings.